Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the MLW recap. We have some wonderful analysts on the day. We got ECK Sports, we got Connor the Cobras fan, and we got XXX Dark 46, aka Plate Redacted.
I'm
How
doing
y'all
good.
doing today?
Yeah, not too
I'm doing
bad.
all right.
Solid.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear. So yeah, today we're just kind of going over the free agency updates. There's not too much to go over with that, but there's some interesting topics for conversation. And we're also going to go over the draft that is coming up here in a few days. That's pretty important. You know, the season is getting ready to get ramped up, and I'm excited, and I'm sure everybody else is excited. So let's just go ahead and hop into it.
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
You guys ready?
let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So today we're let's go over to a little bit of the free agency updates. I'm probably going to start with kind of less interesting to most interesting. We have three teams that had added to their rosters in the off season before the draft. So we're going to go ahead with the Midwest Mallards. Probably the least interesting out of this ones. No offense to this player, but Nate Liss is added back onto the Midwest Mallards. What are you guys' thoughts on Nate
I don't
Liss coming
see him
back to the
playing.
Mallards?
I'm gonna be real. He played in one series. That was
hmm
2019, the Eagles sweep. So I don't see him playing much. I didn't see much. In fact, I actually rewatched that series as soon as I heard the news. I didn't see much potential from him. So I don't see him playing much. Who knows? He could surprise us, but I don't see him playing much.
So, I think he's decent depth. Like Connor said, he's not going to play much. I mean, he played in what 2 games. He wasn't good, so I mean, he's probably going to be sitting, on the bench. But I mean, the Mallards aren't a very deep team, so I mean, we'll see. Maybe he'll get a game or two in because they were a lot deeper last year than they are this year. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, as the same thing as Connor. When the news dropped, I actually went and rewatched that series that he was in, just to see what he was like. And I mean, I saw something. I mean, he can be a decent emergency pitcher, say if Tom or Trev can't make it. But I think just like with the whole signing Johnny Bean thing, it's more of a, oh yeah, no, he's here. We have enough players. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's more of like
We don't
a,
want to look. Yeah.
I don't know how to, yeah, we don't want to look like wicked, like Seahawks, like, but like, because they'd always have like two guys every series. But like, I think it's more of like a, just a thing to be like, yeah, no, we have guys. Could he play? Maybe. Do I see him playing? No, because I mean they're gonna have Tom, Trevor, and whoever they pick at two at least, like for
Yeah.
probably every series, and then maybe Johnny Bean as well. I mean, we don't know about him really, but he's on their active roster, so I'm not sure. But I see it more as just a kind of, yeah, no, we just have another guy, just trying to keep up with the rest of the league in terms
Totally.
of numbers. But if he does need to be an emergency pitcher, he could be pretty solid, especially if Tom
Yeah.
works with him before he shows up. He could be solid.
Yeah, I think honestly, I when I went back, this is no, I'm not kidding. When I went back and watched the game, I didn't know if Johnny Bean was wearing a Nate List jersey or the other
I
way
thought it
around
was an
because I
Austin
couldn't
Floor
tell them
jersey.
apart for the most part. Yeah, I was something weird was going on and I couldn't see Nate List going
Yeah,
with his
because
own jersey.
Johnny Bean was wearing
And
the
so
same number as Austin Ford. They were both wearing 24.
it was weird. But I mean that just goes to show I just didn't see anything too crazy. I could see, yeah, it's probably just kind of a roster thing to
Because
fill
you
it
do
out.
need that,
But
you know?
I wouldn't be, yeah, I wouldn't be mad to see Nate List come back. I don't know how that would affect the team because we have seen so little of him. But hopefully, maybe there will be some new life breathed into the knowledge because of it. Who knows? Probably not. But let's moving on to the Great Lakes Gators. More reserves coming out. And we got the return of Sam Reichard and Nick Baker. Kind of was not expecting these two guys to show back up on a roster board, but they're there. So what do you
Oh,
guys
I
have to
did.
think
I think
And
about all this?
I
that's
like
because
that.
I think they still, especially Nick Baker, I think they still have talent. I think they didn't. I feel like the only reason why Brennan Zerlag is still here and Sam Reichard and Nick Baker and all these other guys aren't is because Brennan Zerlag was the captain. That's the only difference from him or Nick Baker or Sam Reichard or I don't know, one of those other guys. Because I feel like in that season, maybe Zerlag was a little bit better, but it wasn't by much. So I think that Sam Reichart is a capable pitcher. I think Nick Baker has time to. I think he can grow. So I mean, I think this is good. I think they deserve to be in the league.
I think Nick Baker has potential, and if I were Zerlag, I would develop him into a great player, but then I would try and get some trade value out of him. And Sam Reichert, he is a veteran on a young team that needs at least some experience. So, do I see them being immediate role players? No. Maybe long term, maybe. But I think Nick Baker has potential, and Sam Reichert, I think, is kind of just another body on the roster.
Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. Like Nick Baker, I'm admitted huge fan of Nick Baker because I know he has like a baseball background, and I think he's like a pitcher and a first baseman. I know he's a pitcher. I don't know if he plays first as well too, but I've always been a huge fan of Baker. I mean, he's shown that he does have good potential. Like especially in the spring training in 2019, I'm like, oh my god, this kid's gonna be wicked good. And if he comes back, I could definitely see him being something, maybe like that fourth guy instead of Bix for them, because I feel like he could definitely be a lot better than Bix. I mean, as for Rijkaard, he's kind of there as like a sort of mentorship type thing, you know. He's not even as good as like these younger guys, but he's still there to be like, okay, like he's a body on the roster, but he's also like kind of a mentor for them as well. I definitely see Baker playing more than Rijkaard this season for like when they do show up. I would probably assume Baker would be there more often. But, you know, I would love to see Baker get another shot in the league. And as Connor said, you know, you get this asset, you boost up his trade value, and then you flip him for something else. Maybe he could go to a team like the Mallards or the Magic or something that could need help, especially hitting, because I feel like he can be a great hitter in this league. So, yeah, just get him, build up his value, maybe flip him, maybe keep him. Who knows?
Yeah. Just looking at the stats for the Great Lakes Gators, Sam Reichard was the best. I think Sam Reichard was the best batter
Which proves
statistically.
my point. It's only because
Um,
Brennan Zerlag was the captain.
Well, to be fair,
and
Zerlag did improve a lot in 2020
Ooh,
compared
I
to 19.
disagree
it's
about
true.
that.
It's true.
All right, we're not going to get into this, but you're wrong.
I think Andrew
um,
Gilpin was their
oh
best
goodness.
hitter, actually.
Technically,
But
I
he
think you're
also
right.
was only in one series.
Technically,
So.
But he's
yeah,
also,
it's true.
I think he could actually like legit be good
Yeah,
though. But
he could be.
Who even knows?
yeah, all right. So back to Reichart.
Yeah, but yeah, Reichard and I think Reichard was the best batter. Um, and then he was also their best pitcher statistically too.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean that's
that
good.
slurve though.
That what does that really mean in reality? If he had a 6.50 ERA and his batting was 111, he still was the
I don't know
best.
about batting.
Maybe definitely. Yeah. I mean, it was the best on the Gators
But
in
Andrew
2019.
Gilpin was still
I
really
mean,
good.
Yeah,
yes, for the one series he's in, he's good.
yeah,
But I think for the most part, this is like kind of it's interesting to see, but it'll be interesting to see if they can get into the squad.
yeah,
Um, it, it's especially with like the 2019 dragging them down. It's kind of like if you were to bring a Southern Seahawks player that not named Noah Dabrico back, like you'd almost you have that kind of stigma, like that was when you played and that's the team you played for, and so like it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I think most people are going to hear the name Sam Reichert or Nick Baker and then come up, and you're just going to be like, they're terrible, they're so bad, blah blah blah. But maybe they do have some talent and can bring it back in the 2021. But well, we're just going to have to see if they actually get any playing time with
Yeah.
Georgie Cheatham, being so good. All right, and then our final free agency update, which is kind of a doozy, which kind of almost came out of nowhere, is that Austin Ford on the Wildcats, free agency transferred, free pickup for the Wildcats. Don't know what that's going to mean when they draft somebody, if he's going to drop. But as of right now, Austin Ford is on the starting five for the Western
I
Wildcats.
think
Okay.
it's a horrible pickup. I would
Yeah.
like to say,
Yeah.
and I don't have my Instagram in front of me, but I believe he struck out in more than 50% of his plate appearances in combined 2018 and 2019. And while
Yeah.
when he hits, he gets on base because he's like Usain Bolt, for crying out loud. It's a wasted at bat that you could have Kyle Schultz or Nick Saylor hitting bombs that you're going to have him
It's
striking out. So I see him with their draft pick move down to reserve, and by the end of the season, out of their roster and back into free agency. So
here's my opinion. I think it's a decent signing if, like, he comes in, maybe Brian Kelly isn't there, but I do not want the Wildcats playing a four-man lineup because, like Connor said, if they do, Nick Saylor and Kyle Schultz are probably the two best hitters in the league. And you could have them two up, but instead you have Austin Ford, who, like, the highest he's batted is 190.
yeah.
Yeah, I again agree with Connor, and I feel like we have like the same mind, but this is a horrendous signing. Because think about it, the Cats already have 4 guys on their active roster, along with Purok in reserves, and who knows if Purok's gonna come or not. I mean, it's Zach Purok. That man is unpredictable. But you have the 4 men. You have, because everyone seems to be forgetting about Aguilar as well. Now I don't know what if he has like football or something. I think that's what his commitment was last year. It's like
It was
it
worker
was like work,
something,
and he had like
combination
high
of a
school
few.
football or something like that. But if people seem to be forgetting about Aguilar, and I'd much rather have Aguilar there than Ford, because I mean Aguilar can actually make contact with the ball. He's a better pitcher if they ever need it. Like, and he's not a guaranteed strikeout. Like, but Austin Ford is a huge
Yes.
strikeout guy. Like, huge strikeout guy. Doesn't really swing a lot. Like, I've noticed a lot of his strikeouts are looking. Like, he doesn't even really make the effort. But like when he does get on base, like, yeah, he's fast. But I mean, if stealing bases was a thing in MLW, he could be such a big asset. But like, it's not. And quite frankly, even when he does get a hold of the ball, he doesn't have a lot of pop either. Like I think he had like 1 homer in 2019. It didn't even go over that far. It was like an off of Gilpin, I think,
No, I thought it was
or
off
Chandler, one of those two.
Brian Kelly. Oh,
No, it was
okay.
off one of the Gators. It was that blowout Gators Mallard, like the
Yeah, it
16 to
was
15 game in
off
2019.
Gilpin. He threw him like
I think
I don't know.
he threw an
Yeah,
ephus.
Nephis.
He threw an ephus pitch and Ford hit it out, and that was like his only homer of that
Yeah.
year. Like, he doesn't have a lot of pop. He's fast. That's his only asset. He's pretty much a guaranteed strikeout, and just like you guys were saying, I'd rather not have him come up and have Kyle come up for another plate appearance or Saylor come up for another plate appearance and have a much better chance of them providing some sort of offense for the team. It's a terrible signing. I don't know why Kyle did that when he has his 4 guys plus the draft pick. And that draft pick, yes, it's going to be 7.
I
I
would
believe,
trade,
but
and
that
ECK knows I mentioned this. I mentioned this on my podcast. I
Yep.
think I would trade. Now, granted, it's for another player. So now that I'm actually thinking about it, might not be the best decision. I trade the 7th pick for Joey Flynn and then try and get some trade value out of Joey Flynn. Because I very well think that Joey Flynn is one of those players that he needs a team that he can stick with. You don't want Joey Flynn to be a Ryan Fitzpatrick. You don't want him to be a journeyman.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick's the GOAT,
he
though.
is, but
That's
you
true.
don't want Joey
Not
Flynn
this
being a
year.
journeyman. Journeymen don't work in MLW. You need a team to stick with, and so I think Joey Flynn could earn some trade value out of him. So I trade the 7th pick to Joey Flynn because in my mind, you're not getting anything out of that 7th pick. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never know with like a 7th pick. Obviously, last year it was Tamalko. We all know how that worked out.
Yeah, he
but,
was
like,
traded for the
I don't
3rd
know.
pick.
He was traded for the 3rd pick, and don't even remind me of that trade. I'm salty enough about it. But yeah, no, it's an interesting. I hate the signing. Like out of all the signings that happened this offseason, I'd probably say that Baker to the Gate Baker is probably the best one
agree.
Oh yeah,
by far.
totally.
Hmm.
I mean, I agree with both Dark and Connor. I think this signing was pretty bad. It's only good if Aguilar is not able to come, and one of Kelly Saylor can't come. Then it's fine. But also, if you're batting him in a 4-man lineup, then it's terrible.
Yeah, so that's just less plate appearances for Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of again, this is like for me, it's like this is why we're gonna have to go to probably adding 2 more teams because the 3-man lineup is such a staple of the MLW. Like it's just
I mean,
hard
think about
to
it. The last
and
four
Eagles, Eagles,
every
they won
champ.
with a 3-man, even though they had Brendan Schultz on the roster.
So it's literally been every single
15,
champion
16,
has been
17,
2 or
18,
3,
19,
right?
20. 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last time?
That's unless they're going to make a mandatory 5-man lineup,
No,
which
I
can't
think
happen this year
no, I
because
think it should be 4 at least. You shouldn't have to do 5 or
yeah,
4. You know, because I think the only team
it
that won with more than 3 was probably the Cards, right?
No.
With Chevy,
No, they only
Duncan,
played with 3.
The Cards won
Torf.
with 3. The only team that
Who didn't-
won with more than 3
So-
was the 2014 Wildcats, and they had 4, I believe.
It was Kyle, Noah, Stahelski,
No, that
and
was
House, right?
it was Kyle, Noah, Gable,
And Garrett.
Igor.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
Kyle
GOAT,
Garrett.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah. So I mean,
I mean the
that's
3-man lineup
this is just like kind of one of those
scientifically the
things,
best because it maximizes the at bats for your best players,
right? For sure.
and that's why MLW is
you
going to
have
have
them.
to expand, especially with the draft too. You're just adding more players, but you can't
Yeah.
really get rid of players unless more guys start
No.
retiring.
So, yeah,
I
which
think
probably
that
not
2
gonna
players.
happen anytime
I
soon.
think Brendan Russell's going to retire soon, and I think
Thanks.
Clayton Price will retire soon.
Okay,
I think Clayton Price will retire. Clayton's going to retire due to his condition more than anything. It's not going to be for like, oh, I have a job offer lined up. No, it's going to be, but I physically can't do it anymore unless he is still doing like physical therapy and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe Clayton, but like because now you figure people, I don't know, most people are like Kyle's age pretty much in the league.
Yeah, Kyle's what, 21, 22, I think now. 'Cause I think he had his birthday this year. Yeah, he had his birthday this year. He's 22.
Oh, so they're pretty much all that age, pretty much going into their last year of college. So I mean,
And not everyone. I mean, like most of the Gators. I think Jorgie. How old's Jorgie? Is he like
Georgie's
20,
pretty
right?
young.
20, 21 maybe.
I don't know about the draft.
Yeah, Jorgie's young. Obviously, Zerlag's 16.
I'm talking
17
about
maybe. He might be
I'm
17
talking
now.
about the guys that were like in the league from like I don't know 2018 and on or 2018 before.
Yeah, no,
That's
absolutely.
what I'm talking about.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even a guy like Drew, like they're mostly college age.
Brendan,
save for,
but
like,
Brendan's
Brendan
probably
and
going to
Sean
retire
Flynn.
soon.
So we have to talk about like the potential, like the 6 potential draftees that we
Yeah,
know about.
No, we have there's technically a few. It's hard to know. So let's be real.
Like,
because the thing is that I've looked up all these guys, and like all these potential draft picks are around,
Yeah.
16 to 18, all pretty
Well, I
much in
mean,
high
you want
school.
a guy that you know can
Um,
be there for a long time, though. That's like the good part about it.
yeah,
Like Brendan Baranowski is like, didn't Drew say he's like a top 100 player in the country?
yeah.
Yeah, like you got Baranowski, Allen, the
Yeah,
two
Longman and
PWL
a Hable.
kids,
So
and
here's the
then
list
Father
the short
Gustav.
list.
You got Father Gus, you know.
Yeah, we have Barnowski, Allen,
Where
Longman,
did he come
Hable,
from?
Blade Walker, Jackson Pearson.
Oh,
On
Blade
that
Walker is on the
list,
same
like
team as Dallas Allen.
What was
literally
it? The
Um,
Seconds
All
ago,
American?
it was it. There was
I yeah, I
oh
added those. I added those. Um, and then also our
attaboy.
buddy
Yeah.
Brendan, Brendan Davenport, Tyler Gustis, or Gus as he's more commonly known.
Wait, is his real
No,
name
Um,
it's
Tyler
Gustus.
Gustis?
yeah, his name is
Gus.
it's Gustis. I'd say Gustis because it's more funny to say.
Nickens is stalking people.
Dude, this is what journalism is. It's just straight
How
stalking
did you
people.
find this out? Where did you find this out? I'm concerned.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, no,
Nickens,
no. MLW Nation made a mock draft, and so this is where I
Nickens
got all
pulling
my
up to
information
people's
from.
houses like.
I honestly, we can go through down the list, but I honestly prefer that they draft one of the 40-year-old guys
From St. Mary
from
Low.
the same.
The dad.
Yeah,
Bill
Yeah, hold
Price.
on.
dude.
I got a call real
yeah,
quick.
Bill, yeah.
I
Bill Price.
yeah, dude. What a legend. What I don't know what, but yeah. So we can kind of go down the list a little bit. Funnily enough, on MLW Nations, I think he doesn't include any of the NWL guys. So the Drew
Are we not
lookalike,
going to talk about how much Drew
and
Hable looks like Alec Warda?
those guys.
I haven't seen
Like,
him.
it's a doppelganger for crying out loud.
You should go to the Brexit.
I haven't. Let me look. I haven't seen Drew Hable either, but yeah. And there's also a few other guys from the teams that aren't
Yeah,
on there.
Norp, if you guys didn't know,
So like
I'll
it's
self-promote at the end. But I had Norp on my podcast. But Norp said that they are choosing from the pool of Wiffle and the Mitten, but they also are choosing from just kids around Michigan. So some of them aren't from the Wiffle and the Mitten tournament. So that may be harder.
yeah, we could with not knowing who any of these guys are, we could literally be getting some guy straight picked out of Brighton High School that we've never heard of.
Mr. Mallard's Y could be picked for all we know. Like,
No, why not?
Yeah,
he was at the
dude.
tournament.
I don't know.
Someone could literally select
I mean,
Declan in the draft. I would start crying if that happened, just because I'm like, why?
dude, if Declan gets picked, what if Declan is actually the number 2 pick
What if
for the
Declan is
Mallards?
Gus?
Oh,
Conspiracy theory.
Confirmed. No, wait, no, he's in the Discord. It's one of the Discord rules.
Yeah,
you must legally tell
yeah,
us
it
if
is.
you're,
You must legally tell us if you're Gus.
Yeah. Yes, but we can go down the line kind of a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about the upsides of Gus. Dudes, he is a freak of
Yeah.
nature. He's so tall.
He looks very large, yes, and like in a good way. Like he looks like cut, but like for a guy that
Yeah,
he
he
looks
doesn't
cut
look.
for a guy that doesn't look like he works out much. He just looks like naturally cut.
I think he's actually like jacked though. Under like the sleeves in the tournament don't do
Yeah.
him justice. I think he's actually like pretty
Yeah.
built. And imagine like Drew Davis is already called Gus, like as a number 8 pick, and like imagine him as an 8 pick.
He's gonna be the best.
I feel like he's gonna
the
be
best
really
8
good,
pick of all time.
dude. He's gonna be like the
He's
Cinderella
gonna
story,
be the Tom Brady of the MLW.
He's Mr. Relevant,
No,
Yeah,
no,
you know.
he's gonna be
Not
the
Mr.
Tom
Listen,
Brady,
Irrelevant.
like a wicked late
North
draft pick. Ends up
said
becoming
that
the GOAT.
Gus will come to the field and do push-ups the entire time. Norp's words, not mine.
Really.
Oh man,
Norm's words,
I believe
not
it. I believe that
mine.
man. I believe that man is like
Same.
secretly like jacked.
Norp's words, not mine. I love it.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see what Gus does. I hope he gets a lot of playing
Yeah.
time because I need
We need
some
some
meme
Gus
content.
bombs.
So yeah, I need some meme content.
Gus
Please.
just whips out the
Um,
nastiest drop
You
ball
want
of
to do
all
like
time.
some sort of like
oh
mock
my
draft that would
gosh.
fit well with
Drew is
each team?
Drew is
We
Drew
need
is probably hiding like how good he actually is because he's like, yeah, he's gonna be like a second manager, slash occasional player, But that occasional playing time is gonna be like absolute, like S double S
Double
tier
S
according
tier.
to Nickens.
yeah. I yeah, I'm going to we'll
He's
see.
just
We'll
gonna make a
see
he's
what the
gonna make
tier
like a
list works out
triple
to.
S tier just for Gus.
I'm gonna do the whole series tier list, and then at the end,
Gus
I'm gonna
tier, Gus.
like Gus is gonna fall. Gus is gonna fall from the heavens into God tier, and like
Yeah, Gus would be
God.
triple S tier.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
easily.
brand new tier just for him, just because of his
Yeah, the Gus tier.
Gus with 3 S's.
Dude,
Yes,
he's
they
the
go.
goat, the Gus
The
of all
Gus.
time. So,
Best player named Gus in MLW history for sure.
yeah, yes. All right, let's go down to our boy in the Discord, Brendan Davenport.
We don't know much
I
about
don't
him
know
though. That's
how.
the thing. Like he looks solid.
I mean, that's
So,
he
yeah,
looks
the
really
on the
solid.
clock
If you look
video.
at I've seen his videos.
Magic, please just
Yeah,
undrafted free agent pick this man up.
and
Jack Ag.
you know, I want to say like he's. I think out of all the guys, like he's. I mean, I've got to talk to, like he is so motivated. Like
Yeah.
he
He
is.
said a few
He
managers
is
were in
like
contact with him. His words, not
You know,
mine. So
yeah,
I want to say something about Brendan
right, coming from
Davenport.
him.
I've kind of, in the DMs thing on Discord, we've kind of DM'd. He said,
yeah.
it's clear to me he wants to be the best. He's striving to be the best. He
Yeah.
wants to win. He
Yeah,
wants to make an impact. He wants to do well. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, it's some kind of mindset you gotta have though. That's the thing. He's got that good mindset.
yeah, and especially he's got a great mindset.
Yeah.
It's just all going to depend on the team that he goes to. I think his advantage though is that because
He's a sleeper.
Oh, yeah,
he's
definitely.
not as well known, he's definitely a sleeper. He can definitely get
Mr.
drop in the
Agner,
draft
please.
for one of those teams. Yeah,
come on, Al.
he can get. I mean, he can definitely be on one of those teams that needs
Yeah.
more of needs some bulk on their roster. I mean, if he can do that,
Yeah.
he'll get that playing time, and I'd love to see what he does with it. He's
And
got a lot of
yeah,
confidence,
in,
and
um,
I'm excited
in
for it. I'm ready.
MLW Nation's mock draft, he goes 7 at the Cats, I believe, which I see
Bruh.
that being
Yeah.
actually pretty reasonable, considering
It's a possibility.
if he can pitch well.
It's a possibility.
We don't know about the rest of the guys that were
Yeah.
in those tournaments, so that's the thing. You gotta.
Yeah, pitching, and it's another thing is like pitching to guys at a tournament. Pitching at home, like showing your arsenal is
Yeah.
great. But the thing is that when you're going against MLW guys
Yeah.
in the smaller strike zone, it's a totally
Yeah.
different ball game.
I mean, even though they are going to be,
especially with
they
speed
are going to be
limits.
using those homestand zones next year, though. Think
Rip
about that.
rip out.
Yeah.
I think it's
How
insane.
big is it? Is it? Do you think it's like bigger than the one they have now? Or?
I think it's literally same
Yeah.
size, just sheet metal.
All right.
The clang,
Okay.
the sound.
So we're gonna
As
hear
someone
we're
who
gonna
has-
hear it.
As someone
Like little
who
pings.
has first-hand experiences that zone, the sound is just god tier.
Oh,
It's just the first. It's the first-hand experience.
is
what I'm
Jackson
saying?
Pearson a good player?
Mm.
Because I see
Yeah.
MLW Nation.
I believe Jackson Pearson. Remember the kid in the 2018 home run derby that came? I believe that's Jackson
I
Pearson.
think that's him.
All right, sure then.
He's Gus.
I'd rather have won.
So we got a few more. So we have
Big man.
Dallas Allen. Yep. And I want to
No,
say
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Blade
think
on
they're
the same
both
team as him.
because they were both like, was it All American?
Yeah,
Wiffle or something like
Blade.
that? It was something along those lines.
Yeah, both of them are on the same team, so we can kind of talk about them. Honestly, like from like the way I analyze, like it's hard for me to really get a ton out of the Wiffle in the mitten videos. I much more
Scouting,
enjoy
yeah.
them as entertainment value
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
like for
Mostly,
serious
I think
like.
that's how MLW
And
treats
so
them as
like,
well. It's just off season.
and
Yeah,
that's the way
it's
I
more
would
of like
rather
Yeah.
off
enjoy
season
them too.
content,
You know.
just
I
so it's
actually
not
want to
such a
say
dry
something about
spell.
Dallas
Yeah, and
Allen.
it's fun.
So
Yeah.
Mallard's
Go for it.
said something about
Mhm.
maybe the Mallards not being too interested on Dallas Allen. I think I
Yeah.
could be totally wrong, but I think I remember him saying something like that. But here's the thing on Dallas Allen:
We know
he was hitting so many home runs. Like it probably was like what 2, but I don't know, maybe 3, maybe 4. I don't know, but he was. Yeah, he's got a
he's got
lot
a
of
lot of
power.
power.
He can pitch, which I mean, if they're, I'm sure one of the teams. I'm just not thinking about it. I mean, the Preds need a guy that can just hit for power because they don't have that, and a number 2 pitcher.
Yeah.
Ryan had the most homers in the league last year, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but
I don't
Ryan.
think because Scratch hit a.
Yeah, but
I
Crash
Ryan.
hit 8.
know, but
Ryan
a lot of
also.
that has aspects.
Ryan also, I feel like he struck out a lot too. Like he was either boom or bust.
No, not. I don't think so. Actually, I think that
Ryan
was more.
struck out.
Mm.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Ryan Crash hits
Crash
third
struck
in the
out
lineup
24
for
No,
everything,
no.
times.
though,
He
I
hits third
think.
in the lineup because I think because he pitches. I think that's why he bats third.
Well, what does that affect anything? It's not like MLB where you have
Yeah.
the
I don't
9
know.
guys in the lineup, and pitchers are bad at hitting always. But like,
I mean, I know, but like
Aside
he had the.
from what's his name on the Angels?
Mm.
Zach
What's
Wheeler
his-
apparently.
what's-
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
on Otani. Well, in Japan
Yeah.
doesn't play with DHs
24
though. That's
strike.
why.
Ryan struck out 24
times, but that wasn't it.
And wasn't like the league
46.
leader like
46.
49?
Brendan
He
Russell had
Agner
36
with
strikeouts.
40.
Hot ECK. No.
I know. I already knew that.
Yeah.
The dude strikes out way too much.
B-Ross is washed. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to know, but both. I mean, it's clear to see that the CUSA guys are not only just good at wiffle ball but baseball. So it transfers over really well for them. They are really good, both of them. It's easy to see why they're probably being looked at in terms of the draft. I think that they're young guns, young talent, and it'll be interesting what happens. I think that Dallas Allen does have the more hype around him, but
He has the cooler name.
Floyd's not bad at all either. He
Maybe
does.
try
He does.
Blade, what a legend.
Don't sleep on Jake Long. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about Jake and Drew. They're both PWL guys. Both pretty stout.
Yeah, right.
Jake's a pretty good big guy. They're all.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them again. I think they're all in high school. All baseball players, really good. They showed their stuff against those guys. They played really well. But who knows? I mean, they again, they're also looking pretty good. They played well in that game.
Yeah.
They have nothing to be ashamed of, even though I think they lost.
Wasn't
Yeah.
PWL like a
Yeah, what do
13
you
to
guys
15
What are they? Yeah, that's
But they might be
another thing is
16
that they're
they might be
13 to 15,
16
but
now,
now they're not
because of,
all in high
like,
school.
Figure how long were the
Yeah, they're
Well,
all
that was the same
16
with
now.
Dallas Allen.
Was it?
His group was also 13 to 15.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
fact, I believe they faced in the championship.
Yeah.
PWL and All American vibes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're all older now.
So
They're older. They're older now. I can't remember. A thing about all
They're
the older divisions
older.
is that I think they're all. Yeah, they're like when you
St.
think
Mary
of 16
Lobos
plus,
looked like they were
these
all
guys are in their
30s.
20s.
And then like the dad, because I think it was like 3 brothers and their dad, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that could be
Yeah,
another
they
thing
only-
is that we're not seeing the
And they
other
also showed
16
like
plus
4
guys.
teams per division when there was at least
Yeah.
like 20 plus.
Yeah,
Like
for
we
sure.
don't know
That's
even
another
like
thing.
a small percentage of the players that are actually in these tournaments.
Yeah, we don't know.
'Cause
I
he
think
was-
Declan
Which
has
one
the
was he
best
in? Was he at
idea.
Illinois?
Mallard's why.
Well,
He's
But that's also the one where
Yeah, he
people
was
are
at the Illinois one,
less
so
likely to be drafted from, though. Think about that.
that's true. And that's another thing, like especially like that's the NWL guys, right?
Hmm.
That division. So I mean, yeah,
This is a.
we're basically
They need
like
like.
it,
Go ahead.
this is yeah. I mean, this is kind of like a discussion. Like we're basically
They're
throwing
like they need to
darts at a dartboard
drop.
we can't see,
I think they
and
need
like
because what's
hoping
the
we
draft
hit.
is the 16th, and I know they're not going to do this, but they need to drop a
Yeah.
prospects video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they did, but the only
Yeah,
problem is
see,
that we
the
don't have a winter league, and so like
Winter League was like the
that would be
prospect
our
video.
prospect list.
This was not. Like there isn't going to be none because the draft is in
2 weeks
in 2 weeks from today.
Today's the 3rd.
No,
Kyle
today's the
doesn't have
2nd.
time to do
and
it.
It's the 16th.
I think it would be good if
Jeez.
like
They said
Kyle could do like a mock draft like he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3rd.
No, because that would. Well, I mean, they're filming the draft today though, so that would spoil things.
Yeah, they did. Which is interesting because they're supposed to give a shout out to the person who won the tournament. And I don't
think the guy that's in
it's
first
finished
place
up
has
yet,
Baylor
so
in the Natty game though.
how do they know who wins?
Winning the title, and they're in the
Oh,
it's
dude.
Kyle Wagner, and he has a Gonzaga. He got 3 out of the 4 Final Four teams, and he's got Gonzaga Baylor in the title game, and Gonzaga winning.
Yeah, and well,
Yeah, they're down 4.
Gonzaga's currently losing to UCLA. So.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap it up and say, I'll say, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this MLW recap. It's kind of all over the place, and but that's because we're still trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future videos, and hopefully we'll have more clarity coming in the future. But that's going to be all for this time. But
see you guys later.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.